Good morning. My name is Lexi Wetherington. I am currently a student at Kennesaw State University in the graduate program for instructional technology, and I have made a data overview of Sequoia High School. Today is April 15th, 2023. Introduction and purpose. We are looking at the data at Sequoia High School where I work, the EOC data specifically for the years 2021 to 22, 2020 to 21, and 2018 to 2019. Since we are at the high school level, we'll be looking at all grades 9th through 12th. The intention of this presentation is to present it to the EOC coordinator of our school, and the purpose is to inform this coordinator of data trends in order to increase the levels of proficient and distinguished learners. First, we have the school overview of student demographics. Here I have student enrollment data disaggregated by gender. You can see on the left-hand side that I have the total amount of students enrolled for each year. In 21 to 22, the students were at 2,179. In 20 to 21, there were 2,196 students. And in 2018 to 19, there were 2,071 students. In 2021 to 2022, we had an even amount of males and females at the school. In 2020 to 21, we had more males than females. And as well, in 18 to 19, we had more males than females at the school. Here we have student enrollment disaggregated by race and ethnicity. As you can see, the average amount of students in all 3 years are white. In 21 to 22, the population was 72% white. In 20 to 21, the population was 73% white. And in 2018 to 19, the population was 75.1% white. So for all 3 years, the white population has been above 70%. Our second largest population is the Hispanic community. In 21 to 22 and 20 to 21, the Hispanic percentage was at 15%. And in 2018 to 19, it was at 14.2. So the Hispanic population has grown over time, which we have been seeing at our schools. And as a Spanish teacher, it has been refreshing to see these students in the Spanish classrooms practicing and wanting to improve their own language. Our third largest community is the Black population. In 21 to 22, we had a 7% Black community. In 20 to 21, we had an 8% Black community. And in 18 to 19, we had a 7.1. So over the 3 years in 18 and 19, it grew to 20 to 21, but then decreased at 1% in the last year, 21 to 22. Our second to smallest community is the multiracial community. In the past year, we have been at 4%, which has been an increase from 2018 and to 2020. We are now at 4% multiracial instead of 1.6 and 3 in the past years. Our smallest student community is the Asian community. In 21 and 22 and in 18 and 19, the Asian community was 2%, and now the Asian population is at 1% in 20 to 21. Here we are looking at data disaggregated by economic status, and I chose to look at the data for students that are eligible for free and reduced lunch. So you can see here that I have it separated by years and then total number of students on the left-hand side. In 2018 to 19, we had 403 students on free and reduced lunch. In 2020 to 2021, we had 373 students. And then in 2021 to 2022, we had 327 students that were eligible for free and reduced lunch. Here we have the data disaggregated by English language learners. As I mentioned in a previous slide, the Hispanic population has increased over the past 3 years, and you can see that here with the English language learners. In 2018 to 19, we had 26 students that were ELL. In 2020 to 2021, we had 40 students. And then in 21 to 22, we are now at 46 students. Now we're looking at the data disaggregated by special education learners. This data has been fluctuated, not a solid increase or not a solid decrease. It has fluctuated in numbers. So in 2018 and 19, we were at our lowest number and compared to the 3 years at 216. In 2020 to 21, we were at 270 students. And then in the past year, we decreased down 4 students to 266 students in special education. Now we're looking at the school overview of teacher demographics. Here we have the teacher demographics by gender, male and female. In 2021 to 22, we had 53 male teachers and 71 female teachers. In 2020 to 21, we had 55 males and 64 female teachers. And in 2018 to 2019, we had 45 male teachers and 65 female teachers. So you can see that throughout these 3 years, there was more female teachers than males in each year. Here we have it disaggregated by race and ethnicity. So similar to our student population, most of our teacher population is white as well, even more than the student population. They're all in the 90 percentages. So in 21 to 22, we are 91.9% white at 114 teachers. In 2020, 2021, we had 110 white teachers. In 2018 and 2019, we had 101 white teachers. So the number of white teachers has increased each year. Now we can look at the Hispanic teacher population. In 2021 to 22, we had 6 Hispanic teachers. In 2020 to 21, we had 4. And then in 18 to 19, we had 3 Hispanic teachers. So this number has increased each year. Our Black teachers has decreased on the other hand. So in 2021 to 22, we had 3. In 2020 to 21, we had 4. And then in 2018 to 2019, we had 6. So it has decreased over time. And as you can see, we have a very small pink line in our pie graph that represents the Asian teachers. We did not have any Asian teachers in 2018 to 2019, but we did have 1 Asian teacher in 21, 22, and 20 and 21. Here we have teacher data disaggregated by years of experience. So the light purple bar is 2018 to 2019, the green is 2020 to 21, and the maroon dark purple is 21 to 22. On the bottom of this graph, you can see the years of experience. I'm going to go through each year and talk about the years of experience and the numbers of teachers that correlate with that. In 2018 to 2019, we had 4 teachers with less than 1 year of experience, 39 teachers with 1 to 10 years of experience, 42 teachers with 11 to 20 years of experience, 35 teachers with 21 to 30 years of experience, and 4 teachers with over 30 years of experience. In 2020 to 2021, we had 7 teachers under a year of experience, 37 teachers with 1 to 10 years of experience, 44 teachers with 11 to 20 years of experience, 30 teachers with 21 to 30 years of experience, and 3 teachers with over 30 years of experience. In 2021 to 2022, we had 4 teachers with less than 1 year of experience, and we had 39 teachers with 1 to 10 years of experience, 42 teachers for 11 to 20 years of experience, 35 teachers for 21 to 30 years of experience, and 4 teachers with over 30 years of experience. Now we are going to look at that EOC data that I mentioned in our introduction slide. We're going to be looking at the proficiency scores in spring of 2022, 21, and 2019 on the American Literature and Composition EOC. You can see here that I have the total number of students testing in each year. In 2022, there were 499 students testing. In 2021, there were 383. And in 2019, there were 441 students taking this EOC. We are going to be looking at the proficiency data for each of those following years. Here I have the proficiency data, and it is sorted between a distinguished learner, a proficient learner, a developing learner, and a beginning learner. So here I have the data for 2022 for the American Lit EOC. The total number of students taking this exam was 499 students. You can see in Sequoia High School, the distinguished rate of students, distinguished learners, was 11%, and then compared to Cherokee County at 7.7% and Georgia at 4.6%, Sequoia did very well with a high level of distinguished learners. You can see for proficient learners, Sequoia had 52.5% of students, Cherokee had 48.9% of students, and Georgia was at 39.7% of students. For developing learners, Sequoia High School had 29.3%, Cherokee County had 30.5%, and Georgia had 34.5%. Beginning learners was scored at 7.2 for Sequoia, 12.9% for Cherokee County, and 21.2% for Georgia. In 2021, we had a total number of 383 students taking this American Lit Spring EOCT. You can see here on the graph that in 2021, the distinguished amount of learners at Sequoia High School was at 3.7%. In Cherokee County, it was 4.1%, and then in Georgia, it was 3.4%. The proficient learners were scored at 36.3% for Sequoia, 37.1% at Cherokee County, and 31% in Georgia. Developing learners scored at 38.1% at at Sequoia High School, 40% in Cherokee County, and 36.5% in Georgia. Beginning learners were scored at a 21.9% at Sequoia High School, 18.8% at Cherokee County, and 29.1% in Georgia. And finally, we have the 2019 data. The distinguished learners at Sequoia High School were 14.2%. In Cherokee County, it was 11%, and in the state of Georgia, it was 8.7%. This is the highest level of distinguished learners for all 3 years at Sequoia at 14.2%. The proficiency level, our proficient learners level, was at a 49.7% at Sequoia, 47.4% at the county level, and 37.7% at the state level. Developing learners were scored at a 26.2% at Sequoia High School, 29.2% in Cherokee County, and 33.2% in Georgia. And lastly, we have our beginning learners at Sequoia High School is 9.9%, in Cherokee County is 12.4%, and in Georgia it was 20.4%. So here's the summary and takeaways from this data overview. In 2019 and 21 and 22, Sequoia High School had a lower percentage of beginning learners compared to the state. In 2019 and 2022, Sequoia had a higher distinguished learner percentage than both Cherokee County and Georgia. Sequoia had the highest rate of proficient learners in 2022 compared to the other 2 years at 52.5%. In 2019, developing learners were 26.2% of the population. In 2021, it was 38.1%. In 2022, it went back down to 29.3%. At Sequoia, the year with the most number of students taking the American Lit EOC was in 2022 at 499 students. The least was 383 students in 2021. Area of improvement. Based on the most recent data given, Sequoia can improve the amount of students that are scored as distinguished learners. So in 2019, Sequoia had 14.2% of students that were distinguished learners, but in 2022, this percentage was 11. So since this percentage decreased and dropped, we see that it can be improved because at one point, the students were at that higher level. Sequoia High School can improve the amount of students performing as beginning and developing learners. Questions to consider. How can teachers use this data to address the learning gaps? What inferences and explanations can be made by analyzing these data sets? What should Sequoia High School do to assist learners that are scoring as beginning learners and developing learners? And why did the rate of distinguished learners drop between 2019 and 2022? Was this due to COVID-19 and schools being shut down? Action items. So I would like to increase the number of students performing as developing learners to proficient learners. And I would also like to increase the number of students performing as beginning learners to developing learners.